So there's some special online procedures that we need to discuss because this is a flipped classroom and it's going to be conducted entirely electronically, meaning without you coming into the classroom. And the reason why we did this is although we can offer in-place tutorial, it won't be fair for students that are in different zones. And in fact, we have a large proportion of students who will be overseas because their universities that they're visiting for exchange won't offer these courses, so they have to take it within NUS. Okay. First of all, because we are doing tutorials flipped, we will need you to know how to use Zoom particularly well because that will be the method of execution. Each tutorial, as I said before, will have a tutorial leader, but a secondary tutorial TA as a backup. We would like you to think of this as an actual classroom situation, so I hope where your bandwidth allows, you will have your video on wherever possible. Okay? The leaders will be actually giving the tutorials. They'll have their screen shared with you, while the backup tutorial leader will monitor your participation, if necessary, take attendance, and field your questions by chat. This is important because in the e-learning scenario, it's very hard for a single tutorial leader to watch all of these components. You'll need to be familiar with polling, being able to change your name, especially if you're in a noisy environment and can't participate, as well as be able to use the Zoom screen annotation utility, as well as the chat function. In particular, as you can see over here, there are in the participants Zoom panel the capability to answer yes, no, just like here, to applaud somebody or to say that you need to take a break or something like that. Okay, all of these you will need to know how to use in a familiar fashion so you can communicate effectively to your tutorial leaders. And we will have a sample familiarization run in week 2, which will be a short tutorial that you can do during the class lecture time. So stay tuned for that. Now also, because 50% of your grade will currently come from the assessments, we need to talk about how the proctoring will work. Okay, these are 1.5-hour exams that will happen exclusively in weeks 7 and 13 during the lecture slot. Again, so if you're in a different time zone or you have schedule conflicts, you need to make certain those times are available. Now, each of the exams will be a multi-part exam, and this is to minimize the inclination to cheat, okay? So each section needs to be completed and you won't be able to go back to the previous section, okay? You will have short washroom breaks in between so that you can not need to take washroom breaks during the parts, okay? Each part of the exam is about 30 minutes long, okay? 25 to be exact, okay? You will need to set up a side camera so that we can observe your environment in Zoom, and you will need to record your own desktop, okay? You're only allowed to have one monitor, either your laptop or desktop monitor or an external monitor, but only one. You're not allowed to use a secondary device. And we will check this through Zoom, and your primary screen will need to be recorded through FFmpeg, okay? And there will be a mandatory familiarization run to smooth out all the kinks in week 5. Great, so now we finished the administrative part of this lecture. Now the next segment will be about projects.